Alright, I'm gonna attempt to put in a wiring harness on a Jeep. I got this off Amazon. I don't even know if there's a brand to it. It's definitely one of those from Japan or China or something, but they had decent reviews, and I mean, it's just wiring for a 4-wire flat. It can't be that difficult or that bad of a product. So I think it was like less than 50 bucks, but I'm gonna wire it up. I gotta pull this light assembly off, and then I don't think I have to pull both wire assemblies off, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But this is not really a how-to, it's a how I did it. Oh, it does show I might have to pull both assemblies off. But anyhow, it's basically gonna connect to my tail lights and my brake lights, so I can get a 4-wire flat right here, so I can pull my little tent trailer with the Jeep. It did not come with trailer lights, so, which is kind of weird. It had this, but it didn't come with trailer lights, so kind of defeats the purpose. I guess you can haul your bike rack, which we do. We put our bike rack in here, but if you can't tow a trailer, which obviously it's a Jeep, you can't tow much with it anyway, but it'll pull the little tent trailer, the rooftop tent. So I'm gonna try to position the camera over here so I can do this, and I'll speed it up so you don't gotta worry about the monotony of me trying to figure out how to do this, because I hadn't even read the instructions yet. They come with the wire loom, and I think this runs the entire length of the Jeep, so it has this little module that we'll put inside here, and then we'll run a cable to the, I think, up to the battery, maybe. But anyway, let's get started. Alright, it says to remove these little, first off it says to remove the splash guard and your fender well. Well, I don't have that because I've installed metal fender wells, so I don't have to worry about that step, but it says to take this out on either side. You should use a plastic tool. I do have one, but that works just fine. Pop that out of there, and apparently there's a T40 Torx head down inside here. This little plastic, I think it's plastic. It might not be, but it looks like it might also have a hex head on it, so I might be able to get a socket on it versus the T40, because I don't think I have a T40. I might, but I'm not sure that I do. So I'll see if I do. I'll get that other side popped out and get these screws backed out, and then it should let the light assemblies come out. So alright. Yeah, I did not have a T40. However, it does work on a 10mm socket. So I'm going to snap that out of there. And theoretically, I should be able to get that assembly out. There's something. Wires across it. Oh. Maybe that was enough. Yeah. I think I got it. Well, that was simple. Okay. That's actually pretty simple. So, it's just that one screw. And your light assembly comes right out. That screw goes into there. But I'm pretty sure that little module that came with it has a double-sided adhesive. Gotta clean that up, and it's gonna go down there. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I have not read that yet, so I think that's what it does. So let's work on that now. All right, got it a little cleaner. Still gotta wipe it down. It's kind of dirty. It says to run the wiring harness through. Before I do that, I wanted to make sure it was clean, because by the time I get all that in there, it's gonna be a pain to try to clean it out after that. So I'm gonna get a couple rags and clean that out. Alright, got some cleaner here. It ain't alcohol, but it'll do. There, that's pretty clean. Alright, now best thing to do is just go ahead and run all this through. This side is going to plug into here, and it's pretty easy because they pre-wired it. Obviously, you know, the short side is going to be here, the long side will go over there. So everything is wired. It's actually pretty beefy. I mean, you look at the I said it was a knockoff China or Japanese. I'm not really sure where it came from, but I got it on Amazon, and honestly, I like this. Not bad. Like I said, it's trailer wires. It's not like it's gonna be that big a deal to go a little cheap on this. Famous last words, probably. We'll see. So this ought to go to the battery. This should be the ground and the hot. I'm guessing that goes to the battery. Haven't read that far yet either. Well, dadgum, which end is which? That's kind of strange. This, surely that's not the ground wire. So I've got a black, and I've got a little pigtail with red. So I don't know. I have to read up on that. But you just fish it through here. It's pretty simple. This is supposed to be for a JL, I think 2018 and up. So it didn't say a JT, so I don't know if they made it maybe longer, so where it works both on the Gladiator and the JL, but okay, so that's the wires that are going to run the full length of the Jeep that I've already run through there. These are actually going to be plugged into the light assembly. So I'm going to put all that in there like that. This is going to go to the passenger side some way or another. Have to route it through there. This is going to be trailer lights themselves. And then this will plug into right here. So you've got to, you know how these little clips are, these little red clips. The little red clip, you just pull back on that right there. Then you should be able to kind of push down on that and separate those. Ah, okay. Has a little clip inside here, so I just slid this in, pried that up, and it came right off. So, tip. Pro tip. I wouldn't call it a pro tip, but a tip nonetheless. Okay, so in the instructions okay, that's nice. So this one is the same as that one. So obviously you can't plug those two together. So they make it dummy proof for people like me. And boom, slap that in. That's pretty cool. Okay, and I'm assuming I'll plug it back into the light assembly, but let's check. Okay, so there you go. That's pretty simple. But what I do need to do is take this wire, and there's a little stud in here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. Down there on the bottom, this right here is going to go on that stud and it comes with a 10mm nut to put that on there for grounding. So let's do that. Okay, so the provided nuts are not fitting on this stud. They are too small. Not gonna happen. Well, where do you go from here? Where do I ground it? I don't have a nut, I don't believe. Let me show you my issue. Trying to film this too is kind of like a little difficult. So that stud right there is supposed to house the ground, and this right here is what came in the kit that I got. Right here, it's the kit that I got, and it says install ground wire terminal on the protruding bolt with the provided flange nut using a 10mm socket. Well, this provided flange nut is too small, and there are two sets of those bolts. There's some up top, they're bigger, and then there's two at the bottom. That's where it's supposed to go. It is not happening, but if you look in this diagram right here, it's showing you the same thing, but that nut that they sent with it is not big enough. It's possible that I have some nuts somewhere. I might. So let me look for those and see if I can't figure that out. Alright, well, we're going to move on for a second. I'm going to go ahead and run these wires across. I don't have a right nut, did not come with the kit, so I'll figure it out. For now, I'm going to try and wrap this away to get all this. Well, you know what? I'm going to have to finish that installation and go ahead and put that assembly back up, or I won't have enough wire to go across. So let me jump back up there and go ahead and slap that back together. So I'm going to have to figure out that ground. Try to ground it maybe somewhere else. Alright, what we can do is back that bolt out that I have that terminal on. And all it is this guide for the door. I can take one of these out, go to Tractor Supply, and get the right nut. It's just frustrating that I'll have to do that. But it wouldn't be working on something if it was, right? Yeah, it's a 10mm. Always a 10mm. Alright, let's go ahead and just do that. Ha! Man, I tell you what. That's why I keep things back in business. I actually rummaged through my junk and found the right nut. That's what I was looking for. Whatever they sent me is not the right size. It's the difference. But that's okay. That's why I don't throw things away. Boom. That was off a concrete bolt. Concrete anchor. Alright, I found out that where that bolt goes down through and holds onto that assembly, Well, I was having a lot of trouble on the other side, and I turned the camera off because I was on the verge of a meltdown, wondering why I decided to do this. Then I realized this little piece right here that the bolt goes into, it moves. So if you move it around, it's like a little plastic piece that moves up and down, and it got out of line. So yeah, it's I finally figured that out, and it was a pain because you have this little bolt right here that goes down in there. It's best to take them out. If you try to put your assembly in there with them in, you're gonna have trouble getting the assembly in. So there, you just get it lined up. Probably best to use your phone literally to look in there, because you can't really get your head on that side. You can on this side a little easier, but anyway, more you know. So I got both the assemblies wired up. Now I gotta tighten this one back up on the passenger side. I'll run my wires to the front. I guess we'll see if it works. Actually, we might not, because my trailer's not here, so might be a little while before I test it. But at least I got this done. Hey, it came in today. I installed it today. It's pretty rare for me. Usually don't do that, but now that I'm videoing stuff, kind of have to have content out there, right? So, well, good Lord. And that should just pop right back on there, just like that. Okay, we're done back here. We got all this. Well, we're not done. I have to, as you can see, as you can see, I've only got it just hanging. I'll route it properly, but I didn't want to. The manual will tell you to go ahead and snug it down with zip ties and all these little clips like this, but if you do that, you have no more room for error, and well, I'll make a lot of errors. So now I'm going to run all this to the front all the way up there. So let's do that. Now we're going to route this to the battery, the power cable, and this is the power, I'm assuming, for the module. So I'll route it. I'm not going to zip tie anything until I get it up there. Some people want to do it as they go. I'd rather make sure I have enough wire before I start zip tying a bunch of stuff. Okay, so I have it routed. I don't have it tied, but I do have it routed. Comes up through there. I'll get it tied, and then it kind of goes along that factory loom back into the battery. I do have it hooked up to the battery, but I just wanted to make sure tail lights worked. So I'm gonna start it before I zip tie everything, make sure they work. Y'all let me know if they work. Well, that works. Running lights are working. Oh, I'm gonna have to turn that off. Alright, what are we looking like now? Boom, boom. That works. Left blinker, right blinker. Alright, we're good to go. I didn't test the brakes, but if those work, so do the brakes. Okay. Well, I didn't mess anything up as far as that goes. Obviously, I don't have the trailer plugged in. Can't 100% tell if that works till I plug trailer in. I'm kind of tired. It's hot. Like I said, it's not near as hot as it has been. We've been knocking on, well, we've been over 100 here the past couple days. I don't think today is all that bad. All right. Well, that's that. That wasn't too bad, honestly. Like I said, it's I don't have a clue how good it's gonna be. I'll hook it up to the trailer and kind of update everybody what it's doing. So, little different kind of video. It's different than being in Spain or Italy and traveling, but that's that. We got that all wrapped up. My garage is an absolute mess. Like this is terrible. I've got mine and Amanda's bikes are outside, and we got Alexis's Walmart bike inside. It don't make any sense, does it? But anyhow, we got it all put back together. This is very temporary. I've got this zip tied up here. I'm gonna get me a little bracket that I can put in that little hole right there. And sometimes they'll have, with these receivers, they'll have a little bracket to the side. This one did not, so I'll find me a little bracket, put up there, and should be good to go. But now we can pull that little tent trailer and we can go do adventures with it. That's my goal. Be able to pull the little tent trailer with the Jeep, go to the lake, take a kayak, and do some videos out of it. So that's the whole purpose of this. I'm not going to be pulling anything heavy. That tent trailer is small enough I can pick it up by myself and roll it around, so won't be a problem for the Jeep. But I'm excited now. Had this Jeep for a while and been wanting to do that a long time. Finally ordered it, and it was pretty simple to put on. I mean, it was a little pain in the butt with that bolt, trying to get it lined up, getting the assembly back in there. But once I did that, it was pretty dang easy. We'll always say that'll take 20 minutes. That's just my thing, you know. Everything takes 20 minutes. Even if it's 2 days, it's a 20-minute job. So